I would ask that you please rise, remove your hats for the entrance of our national colors. We ask that you please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, and continue to stand until the colors are posted. The colors are being presented by Cadet Captain Kyle Quinn, Cadet Captain Adam Bensler, Cadet Second Lieutenant Amanda Williams, and Cadet Staff Sergeant Dylan Siderson from the Lilly High School Marine Corps JROTC. Today, the national anthem will be sung by Melanie Whitlock. Thank you, Lilly High School, Marine Corps JROTC. The amazing, thrilling,
is ending at 2 a.m. Please stand up. Check this out. Everybody here get it out of control. Misdemeanor sex. Music make you lose control. We got that fire, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the competition portion of the evening. And while the judges are tabulating the scores, first of all, let's have a round of applause for participants here this evening. While the judges are tabulating their scores, we have the University of Sioux Falls Cheer Squad to perform for us here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the University of Sioux Falls Cheer Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, the results are in from this evening. Sioux Falls Competitive Spirit Invitational. Starting things off with Dundee tumbling ranking. 5th place with 173.5 points, Brandon Valley. In 4th place, 185.5 points, Huron. 3rd place with 188.5 points, Del Rapids. 2nd place with 191 points, Brookie. And your first ranked team with 110.5 points, Washington High School. The rankings for your Sunday non-tumbling performances this evening. 3rd place with 138 points, Iroquois. 2nd place with 144, Yankton Small. And in 1st with 151.5 points, Platt Getty. Your kids ranking. In 5th place with 181.5 points, Huron. In 4th with 199 points, Brandon Valley. In 3rd with 236 points, Sioux Falls Roosevelt. In 2nd with 258.5 points, Sioux Falls Washington Large. And in 1st with the kick rankings with 273 points, Yankton Large. Your jazz rankings. In 5th place with 211 points, Sioux Falls Lincoln. 4th place with 215 points, Sioux Falls Roosevelt. 3rd place with 219.5 points, Brandon Valley. 2nd place with 238 points, Yankton Large. And your first ranked team with 260 points, Sioux Falls Washington Large. Your pop rankings in 5th place with 229 points, Platt Getty. 4th place with 248.5 points, Yankton Large. In 3rd place with 248.5 points, Sioux Falls Lincoln. 2nd place with 258 points, Brandon Valley. And in 1st place with 262.5 points, Sioux Falls Washington Large. We're still waiting on one grouping of scores to come down to us yet here. And the concession stand wanted me to know on your way out, please buy a slice of pizza for only $1. And here comes the hip hop score results out off the press. In 5th place with 178.5 points, Sioux Falls Roosevelt. In 4th place, 182 points, Huron. 3rd place with 207 points, Sioux Falls O'Gorman. In 2nd place with 222 points, Yankton Large. Your first ranked team with 260 points in hip hop, Sioux Falls Washington Large. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for coming to tonight's event. Thank you to everyone that traveled to Travel Safely. And a special thank you to all the workers who came out tonight to help make this tournament possible. On behalf of Lincoln High School, thank you very much. Travel safely. Good night.
We called him Frank. my good friend Richard Franklin Pettegrew. He's buried over at Woodlawn Cemetery, right here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Of course, it in itself wouldn't be here at all if it weren't for Frank, because he donated the land for it. He's also responsible for exquisite petrified wood blocks that form the arch at its entrance, the same as those that adorn the outside of his own home. By all accounts, Sioux Falls wouldn't be here either if it weren't for Frank. He recognized the potential of this city back when it was nothing more than a few barracks along the river, a mere glimmer of hope. Yes, sir, he worked tirelessly all his life to promote it. Richard Franklin Pettegrew. He was quite a character. He was a quick-minded and outspoken politician, a shrewd and sometimes cunning businessman, a passionate and even reckless leader. But he was also a husband and a father, an intrepid traveler, and truly a fine friend. In his later years, Frank recounted many an entertaining tale about his adventures in Dakota Territory. You see, back when he arrived, the land was barely settled.
I came to Sioux Falls in June 1869. I was 20 years old at that time. I was studying law in the State University at Madison, Wisconsin, and an old friend of my father's secured a contract for surveying government land along the Sioux River. Of course, all of Dakota was practically a wilderness, occupied by very few white people and many Indians. Upon arriving at Sioux Falls, which was at that time known as Fort Dakota, I found that it was an abandoned military post. I was very much impressed with the location of Sioux Falls and the surrounding country, and I believe that someday a city be built at this point.
Always ready for adventure, Frank flourished in the rough and tumble world of the Old West. He rubbed noses with the like of Seth Bullock and Calamity Jane, survived encounters with wolves and mountain lions, lived through the Deadwood Fire of 1879, outwitted bandits during a stagecoach robbery, and even joined a buffalo hunt one summer at the invitation of a band of Indians.
After several days of steady traveling, we came upon the main herd. They covered the plains and were thousands in number. The Indians furnished me with a trained pony, with which I was not acquainted, and I had for a weapon a Colt 6-shooting revolving rifle, a very good gun for those days. Now, although I was a good horseman, when I shot my first buffalo, my pony jumped right out from under me, left me on the ground, and went on with the chase. The hunt was continued nearly all day, and a great number of buffaloes were killed. I was not allowed to join the feast because they said I was an old woman and had been unhorsed and was therefore not worthy of participating in the feast with the brave men of the occasion. The next day, I joined the hunt again. That time, I remained upon my pony and killed more buffaloes because I had a better gun than any Indian in the party, and thus reinstated myself with the valiant men and the soldiers of the tribe.
Of course, Frank was also a politician. In fact, one of the first 2 U.S. senators sent to Washington from the new state of South Dakota in 1889. Of course, Frank's political career began years earlier in the Dakota Territory legislature. He liked to recollect a particular incident which occurred during the 1872 session in Yankton. It all started after a debate during which Frank, as usual, boldly voiced his opinion. The Secretary of the Territory, Edwin McCook, became angry.
He was a very liberal drinker and liable to become quarrelsome when intoxicated. And as he was a very large man, his custom was to take to punching his enemies with his fists. He approached me and he said, "Well, you had your way, and now I'm going to lick you." Thereupon, he undertook to strike me. And although I could not strike a hard blow, I was exceedingly active. So I got around onto the other side of him, and each time he tried to hit me, I would hit him. I ducked under his arm and came right out behind him and gave him a push, and down he went on the floor. Then I jumped right to his back with both feet and grabbed him by the hair, and I began pounding him.
It's not every statesman who will take on an appointed official, and one much larger than himself. And on the very floor of the legislature. Oh, Frank, he was quite a character. And while he kept himself busy building Sioux Falls, it wasn't all hard work.
In the spring of 1870, we organized Sioux Falls' first baseball club. In June, the baseball club of Vermilion came to Sioux Falls to contest with us for the championship of the territory of Dakota. Our grounds, where the game was played, were just east of Phillips Avenue at 10th Street. We beat Vermilion by sheer endurance, the score being 64 for Vermilion to 65 for Sioux Falls.
Frank put his heart and soul into the building of Sioux Falls. Over the years, he managed through influence, hard work, and sometimes less scrupulous means of making Sioux Falls home to 5 railroad lines, a state penitentiary, the seat in Minnehaha County, a school for the deaf, a new post office, an industrial park, a Queen Bee Mill, a horse-drawn street railway, scores of businesses and new settlers, and through his friendship with the philanthropist Andrew Carnegie, a Carnegie Public Library. I recall Frank's tale about how he gained national attention for the fledgling city of Sioux Falls.
In 1871, I persuaded a photographer in St. Paul to come to Sioux Falls and take pictures. And I used these pictures for the purpose of advertising Sioux Falls all over the United States. We received word by wire that a special trainload of editors from the South were on their way to Sioux Falls to see the country and write up its resources. Now, it had been a dry season. The river was very low, and I knew that our much advertised falls and water power would be a terrible disappointment to our visitors. Consequently, the publicity arising from their visit would do Sioux Falls a great injury. Something had to be done, we realized. There was a dam across the river, just north of 8th Street at that time. I secured a load of 2-inch planks, 12 inches wide, and I fastened them on top of the dam, stopping the flow of water. This maneuver raised the river above the dam 12 inches. Just before our visitors arrived, I went with a force of men and removed the planks. The water rushed over the falls in great volume. Our visitors were delighted, and the newspapers in the South and East were filled for weeks with the descriptions of our beautiful falls and great water power, equal to that of Minneapolis, almost equal to Niagara, so various accounts read. The advertising given Sioux Falls was of a great value and started a boom which brought many people and much money to our city.
Yes, the more you knew about Richard Franklin Pettegrew, the more fascinating, complex, and even contradictory he became. The same man who was so strong and stubborn in his opinions possessed a mind open to travel, culture, and progress. The same man who labored so diligently to serve the people of Dakota was indicted for treason against the United States government for speaking out against World War I. Of course, this was the result of his deep belief in the freedom of speech. And so he hung the indictment next to the Declaration of Independence right here in his home. Of course, I might add, he escaped the charge with the help of his good friend, celebrated attorney Clarence Darrow. And while Frank now rests peacefully at Woodlawn Cemetery, His passionate spirit continues to live on here at his former home and museum, and of course, throughout the city of Sioux Falls.